I'm scared. I'm super scared. I'm scared because I know exactly what happens this month every year for the rest of time, or actually not the rest of time, hopefully this will end soon, but I'm scared. I'm scared because I know that there are so many of you that graduate this month and have no fucking idea what you want to do, and that's okay. Most people don't. You should not be stressed about that. I'm actually not scared about that. I'm scared that you don't realize that you're entering the greatest 5-year window of your life. If you are 22 years old and graduating from college, shit, if you're 22 years old and not graduating from college, if you are 22 years old, you are entering, first of all, some of the greatest years of your life, A, but B, this is the moment. Watch this video twice. If mama's watching this, send this to your daughter Sally right now. Because you have to understand, this next 5-year window is when you don't go practical and safe. This is not the time to get the job mom wanted you to. This is not the time to try to maximize as much money so you can buy a fat whip. This is the time to realize that you have a 5-year window, and it's 3 for some, it's 8 for others, but this is a 5-year window for you to attack the life that you want to win, not because it's the secret or because the world's so zen, because it's fucking hard as shit out there. As a matter of fact, I'm probably more scared about your naivete to how hard class is easy, right? What you've been doing for the last 16 years is easy. It's a fucking bullshit game. It's structured, it's easy. The world, this thing is hard. However, that contradicts what I'm gonna tell you right now, which is this is the best and easiest 5 years of your life, because this is when you need to attack what you love and what you want to do. Here's why. You don't have all the baggage. You may have college loans, respect, it's hard as shit. You may have the expectations of your parents, mentally hard, fake hard. You may have a lot of other things, but this is exactly when you can live with 4 roommates in a basement and eat fucking fast food. Do you understand? This is not when the baby's there. Some of you have babies. This is not when you've been married and you promised. This is not when the world has sucked out all your dreams and hopes yet. You still got this window. And yet, so many of you are so hungry for short-term gains, like maximizing the job that paid you $3,000 more, but it's not as fun, but you want that $3,000. For what? For what? For a new iPhone? For what? You get to live life one time. And this is the time right now to understand what's actually happening and actually map your behavior to something that will impact you for the next 80 years.
I'm a 20-year-old university student.
I'm sorry?
I'm a 20-year-old university student striving to live a life of truth, involvement, fulfillment. How should I and people my age balance the inner path with the outer world? Be it going to med school, getting a professional career, or spending more time at the ashram.
See, all of us have to live in this universe. No choice about it right now. But university is a choice. And that's why you're asking this question. How much time? Education is of value to do certain things. But what should we be doing as individual human beings, as a generation of people? What should we be doing in our lives? What I would say is, as a young man, I want to open your eyes and look at the world. Right now, please see, what is the most needed thing in the world right now? You don't do some fanciful thing that you like to do. You must do what's most needed, isn't it? Isn't it so? If you get carried away by situations, people become like this, it's useful but it is not the basic thing. Today you saw a train burning, so you want to become a firefighter. Tomorrow you saw something, you want to become that. In reaction, in emotional reaction, you choose to become something. It could be useful on some level. But now when most young people cannot think. You're thinking, what should I do with my life? When such a thought has come, I would say spend little more time on it. Not being influenced by anybody or anything, simply look at it. What is it that the humanity needs most? What is it that the world needs most today? I want you to recognize that. The only thing that needs to be fixed on this planet is human beings. Everything else is fine, isn't it so? So, I would say, all young people, not just you, must take a break from what you're doing. Just caught up because you did school, you went to a college, because you did college, you went to the next thing and the next thing and you end up with a PhD. What to do? It's dangerous, you know. Because the education scientists are saying if you go through 20 years of formal education and land up with a PhD or something, 70% of your intelligence is irrevocably destroyed. Yes, you become a very knowledgeable idiot. And today knowledge has no use because whatever a PhD holder knows, a high school kid can open the internet and talk the same language. You can't even look smart anymore with what you collected, isn't it? Because just about anybody will talk these things because it's all over the place. So are you preparing for a university or the universe? That's where you have to live, unless you want to become an academic. I'm not saying these things are wrong, but human beings, sensible human beings must invest their life towards what is needed most, isn't it? Not some fanciful thing that I want to do or you want to do. You can do whatever, joyfully or miserably, isn't it? And just because today you think, by doing this I will be happy, if you go, don't ever think you will stay happy by doing that after some time. Everybody, when they got their first job, what a beautiful day it was. You went to this mangy little office, sat there and wow, how it felt. But after a few years, sitting behind the same table, it's taking your life. The same job, the same marriage, the same situations, they're taking your life. At one day it looked like heaven, after some time it looks like hell, isn't it? Not because there's something wrong with those jobs, simply because you're doing it for the wrong reason. You're just doing it for the wrong reasons, that's all. Now that you're thinking, I would say take a few weeks off. We're willing to give you the space. Just stay uninfluenced by anybody, just look at it. There are many things you will want to do right now because of immediate compulsions. You're broke right now, you think the first thing is to find a job. Or some other compulsion within you, you think the first thing is to do this. Beside your compulsions, suppose you had none of these compulsions, what would you like to do with life? That's what you should do. You should not decide your life and the course of your life based on immediate compulsions. You decide in your life, if you do this for 100 years and look back, after 100 years if you look back, is it still worthwhile? You do that. There are many others who would like to be you. Oh, I wish I was 20 and I wish I could think what to do at that time I did something. There are any number of people here. Now that you're 20 and you're fortunate that you're thinking and it's fortunate that you're here, it's time you think straight before you do anything.
Promise me that you understand that the land grab of happiness starts right now, that you don't have to worry about getting that job. What you should do is go and travel and learn. Go and start that business that you've always wanted. Hook up with those 3 teammates and start that band you've always wanted. This is the time to be massively risk oriented. I know that this is when you're supposed to grow up and go see the world, but guess what? The world isn't what mommy and daddy told you. The world is exactly going to be what it's going to be, with or without the way you thought it was gonna be. A ton of shit is gonna change. The world changes every goddamn day. Right now, what you need to recognize is you can afford to. And not all of you, I'm sure somebody will leave a comment and say, I've got a loan. I get it, respect. But that loan is gonna be there whether you go and try to build something for yourself or not, one way or the other. And by the way, you can work at night. This is when you put in the 18 hours a day to make your life that you want happen. And again, because I'm scared, I can hear myself fucking talking. I'm not saying it's the secret, it's practicality. When you are in your early 20s, this is when you can grind at your highest levels, because there isn't all the fucking baggage that comes across from life. It's harder for the 42-year-olds that are watching right now to listen to this advice. You can't just wake up tomorrow and be like, let's go. Because little Sally has soccer fucking practice. And because you've got a million other things that are holding you down. But boy, if you're lucky enough to be graduating today with not a fucking idea of what you're gonna do with your future, nobody's ever been luckier than you. Please recognize it.